Be me. Out hiking in Appalachia with bros. See clearing up ahead. Dark figure appears. It communicates telepathically and knows my name. Bro, do you see this guy? Teeny to bro. Bro didn't hear me, but when I turn around the shade disappeared. My bro looks at me like he's seen a fucking ghost, asks me if I have my cell phone. Check cell phone. I have a text message from a number I've never seen before. Kill your friends and I will share the truth with you. Probably just some fucking spam. I ignore it. Keep following the hike trail as it gets dark. My bro turns to me and asks how much longer until get to the main path. Not too much longer, maybe. Look at his face. Something seemed off about the way he looked, like his face was twisted in the twilight. He seemed paler than usual. Hey, Anon, you okay? He nodded his head, but I still couldn't shake the feeling that the bro I started hiking with and the bro beside me now were different in some way. Reached the main trail. Literally near an abandoned graveyard in the woods. Some of the graves look like they've been here since the 1800s, very spooky. There's a strange sticky white substance all over the graves. Moans can be heard from the distance, it's the ghost of Coom's past. Get possessed by Coom or ghost. Coom all night. The graveyard is a tour site because it's so old and a group comes through in the morning. They see me Coomin. A Negro with tentacles appears. He's immediately shot to death by US police officers. We all hoped he could walk on, considering his feet were worn down immensely by this time. If he couldn't keep up, his cheeks were sure to be clapped by the skinwalker that had been tailing us since we arrived. Tried to tell Tommy that he mustn't give up, that he must press on and persevere, but Tommy was a faggot. Right at this time, Tommy suddenly remembered that he is on shit retention for a month. Any fellow New Mexico Anons or anyone who's visited New Mexico have any good stories? I'll start, it's not much, but it's one of my only personal spooky experiences. Be me. 17. Lived in Santa Fe my entire life. Bored one summer night with my friends, trying to find mushrooms or acid. We give up after searching all day. End up at my friend, we'll call him Cuckold's house. His dad is chilling with his friend in the living room. His dad is a bro, so I start talking about how we'd been looking for shrooms all day. Dad's friend says he has some mushrooms at his house and offers to let us trip at his house. Dude seems fine, we have a group of like 7 people, so what could go wrong? Head out to this dude's house, I'm in my friend Eric's car, and everyone else is in another car in front of us. Follow the dude for such a long time, end up on a washboard dirt road in the middle of nowhere. Like 12 miles away from town, now out near Las Campanas. Finally get to dude's house, it's already dark, so we take the mushrooms as soon as we get there. Things get weird pretty quick, dude has some seriously unnerving vibes. He starts like bragging to one of the girls with us in an attempt to flirt with her, coming up on shrooms at some pedophile's house as he talks about the time he got kidnapped by cartel members in Chile, but fought them off. Also tells us this whale tusk on his table is from a whale that he killed. We're all collectively horrified and I can tell everyone wants to leave. Make some shit up and go to the other room with Eric to figure out what to do. So the strangest thing happened to me last week. Be me. At boardwalk with family. See a totally hairless pale guy in a jacket watching me and my family with hungry eyes. Coincidentally, Hungry Eyes is playing through my AirPods. Approach the hooker. Haggle with the hooker. She says she'll do it for free if I follow her, says I can follow her to the other side of the grainy castle. Proceed to follow from behind, seeing strange wiggling movement near her ass. I reach into my pocket to retrieve a piece of a Dorito I had for lunch but forgot to finish while using the public restroom. She accepts my payment. Close my eyes and pray to my various non-denominational gods for forgiveness for the acts I am about to carry out. She looks at me with the gaze of a 1,000 cock stare. Suddenly realize this is how I have always died, from the ultra-aggressive case of syphilis that I ultimately share with my wife. Suddenly I heard a knock at the door and jumped up. It must be the deliveryman. It must be my pizza. Brings pizza to coffee table, realizing I do this every single day and I will never change, albeit wanting to with every fiber of my being. It really has been like this forever, hasn't it? To break the cycle, I decided to go to the men's restroom at the Cruci Park up the street. Upon entering the restroom, I felt some unease over my decision to break this cycle. I instead decide to suck a dick. I actually have one from my personal experience. Be me. Young, maybe middle teens, don't remember exact age, but I think I was in high school. Always have had trouble sleeping in my room. Now I should explain the layout of my house. Imagine looking down on it, the letter C. My room is on the upper end of the letter C, my sister's room is in the upper curve of the letter C, and a spare bedroom is in the upper left corner of the C. Then, my parents' room at the other end of the C, so essentially I shared a wall with my parents. This isn't exactly how it's laid out, but it's close enough for the story. One night having trouble as usual falling asleep. Usually read manga books, fap, listen to music, game, etc. Always leave my door open cause I'm a pussy lol. For some reason, I look out my door and into the hallway. So, I can't see my sister's room or the door, but I can see the door for the spare bedroom. Anyways, swear to God, on my life, I see two people, who I assume were women walking in nightgowns from my sister's room towards my parents' room. I assume my sister got scared and my mom walked with her back to their room. What's odd is I don't remember my mom walking over to her room. In the back of my mind, some possibilities were coming up explaining this, but I pushed those deep down so I could eventually fall asleep. Next morning, ask my mom if why she went and got my sister. She says she didn't. Okay, so obviously I was dreaming, and that was all a dream, even though I swear to any god that I was awake. But fast forward like 15 years, in passing, learn that my dad's mom, so grandmother, but on father's side, committed suicide by jumping out of a window at our house. She fucking did it in my room. No idea if she ever wore nightgowns, who the other ghost was, or where they went, but what an odd night for me. Some other weird events, details of that room, but nothing on the scale of this story. The story thus far, most coherent version, be me. Have empty shed in backyard. Suddenly a black cat jumps over the fence into yard. Who the hell let this cat in my yard, get damn it? The cat builds a shed of his own. Chinese guy runs out of shed for fresh cat. One day I look out the kitchen window and I realize the shed is gone. Who was shed? Realize shed was Skinwalker. There was a shed here, it's gone now. Goddamn Skinwalker's shitting in my heart. I'm writing a letter to the mayor. I put on my robe and wizard cap. I know this thread is for screenshots, but I think it'd be fine if I'd post my own. I already told this story on here I think a while ago, but I'll do it again, even with the sort of faint memory I have. Keep in mind I'm not really good at writing this stuff. Be me, like 4 or 5 years old. Just the age of a toddler really. Be in the kitchen with family. 2 older brothers and older sister are there. I remember just kind of standing there in the middle of the kitchen for whatever reason. Wouldn't really doubt that I was doing that. I was a weird kid. Suddenly I hear my name called from like my left ear loudly from what sounded like a male voice. It went like a I knew on. Thought it was one of my older brothers because he'd be the one to do that shit, but I very much remember him being near me and his mouth shut. Couldn't have been him. Couldn't have been my other older brother or older sister either, because they were never the type to do that stuff. After I heard that I think I might have screamed and ran off to my room or something. Cut to now I see this meme. The meme states that 80% of kids report hearing voices. Makes me remember the voice that said my name. This part doesn't matter, but I always thought if this voice had some form it'd just be some giant mouth or something with no eyes or other facial features. Just a big, giant mouth. Be me. March 3, 2009. Walking alone at night back from a friend's house down the street. Cute girl walks by. She is walking her dog. Your dog looks cute. So did yours. My dog died January 3rd. I keep walking, and it takes me a minute to realize what she said. I turn around quickly, it's only been a few seconds since she walked by. She isn't there anymore. She is gone.